Resume writing getting started. A resume is a summary of your relevant skills and experience. And when we use that term relevant, we mean relevant to the job or opportunity that you're going for right now. The main job, and really the only job of a resume, is to get you an interview. So it needs to stimulate interest in you and your background and skills and experience that compels a recruiter or employer to pick up the phone and call you and bring you in for an interview. Your resume should be concise. Most students and recent grads are aiming for a one-page resume. The reason we emphasize a one-page resume is because we want the recruiter employer to read it, and if you have a multiple-page resume, they may not get around to reading the whole thing. Finally, your resume has to be mistake-free and look good. So that means no grammar or spelling or organizational errors, and a visual aesthetic that encourages the reader to continue reading the document. We're going to take a look now at a couple of the main components that should be on every resume. There's really only three: your name or header line at the top, your education, and your experience. So on the Monty Ray's resume here, he has his name and contact info at the top. This is pretty basic and straightforward. Your name, the city and state you live in, and a couple of ways to contact you, such as email, phone, or perhaps LinkedIn. The next required part of a resume is your education section. As a current college student or recent grad, your college degree is a key selling point for you. So we really encourage you to include that at the top of your resume. All we need here is the name of the degree, where you got it, location of your school, and then when that degree was completed. The third component of a resume that's required is an experience section. Here's where you're going to document your relevant experience that you have that makes you a good candidate for the job. So you'll notice here Monty has clearly laid out his title, the organization he worked for, the location of that organization, and finally the dates he was there. So each of those experiences has those identifying pieces of info. And then he's written a couple bullets describing with some details and some specifics what he did at those different organizations. Let's take a look at a couple of optional parts of the resume. On Jane's resume, you'll notice she has an objective statement at the top of the page. And the objective is a very simple, straightforward sentence saying, this is the position that you're applying for with this resume at this time. Another optional piece of the resume is the skills section. Typically, we encourage students to write a skills section where you're sort of summarizing the relevant skills that you have that make you qualified for the position. In Jane's case, these are relevant to computer science. Other students will put things in here like communication skills, leadership skills, foreign languages that they speak, etc. Moving down the page, Jane has also included a relevant project section. In some cases, you may not have any paid or volunteer experience that relates to the job you're going for, and you may choose to create a project section where you discuss academic projects, presentations, and papers that have helped you gain more knowledge about the particular field that you're trying to get a job in. At the bottom of the page, notice that Jane has an activity section where again she's identified a relevant activity that this employer or recruiter would be interested in, and written up a short sentence describing what she did there. In summary, resume basics: your resume should only include relevant skills and experience. Your resume should be concise, meaning typically no longer than a page. Your resume is designed to get you an interview for a specific job at a specific organization that you've designed this resume for. And finally, your resume has to be mistake-free. The CSUMB Career Development Office welcomes your questions and comments, and here's a couple ways to get a hold of us, and good luck in your job hunt.